Barry Eichengreen, who writes 22 hours a day, a prolific writing career, of course, with the University of California, Berkeley. First of all, Rex, bring up the chart for this book, the picture rather, the book. Exorbitant Privilege, Holy Valery Giscard d'Estaing. He's the one who said it, didn't he?
He's the one who said it in 1965.
He said it. Here's the book. Why did you steal this line from the former president of France?
Well, what the president and the finance minister meant is that the dollar is not only America's currency, but it has the exorbitant privilege of being the world's. I think that status is at risk, and the only question is whether we'll have a smooth transition away from a dollar-dominated international monetary and financial system, right, or a rocky one.
Let's look at the dollar right now. I picked real trade-weighted broad dollar here. This includes not only the historic trading partners, this dreaded first chart, but this includes China, Mexico, and the rest of them. And Barry, there in the middle of the chart is the Rubens strong dollar, and then this recent dollar decline, and we're really buttressing up against new trade-weighted weakness. Where'd the rhetoric go that what we need is a strong dollar?
Well, the rhetoric and the reality are different. Yeah. I think what we need is a dollar that will help us price our exports into global markets. With American households saving more, we are going to have to export more of what we produce. That will require a somewhat weaker dollar. You
start out with the economist Matt Dillon, The City of Ghosts, a 2002 thriller set in contemporary Cambodia. And you counterpart that with the 1940s movie, The Counterfeiters. Barry Eichengreen goes cinema on us. Why'd you do that? Well,
I wanted to make the point that the dollar has long been the world's currency. When Somali pirates ransom a ship, they demand that the ransom money paid to them be in dollars.
Right.
That has been the reality now for 50 years, but I think we're moving away from that dollar-dominated world.
Aside from a very peculiar second half of the 20th century, there has always been more than one international currency. This is absolutely critical, folks. When I started studying foreign exchange, the Lebanese pound was one of the major global currencies. That's how things can change. This is critical, and Barry, you do this, bringing, as you do in every book you've done, Golden Fetters and Globalizing Capital, such a span of history pulled into the economics we assume each and every day. What's so bad about having a couple international dominant currencies?
My view is that there's nothing bad about it. In fact, the world will be a safer financial place when there are additional safe havens besides simply the dollar. When foreigners don't lend to us so freely at points in time, like the middle of the last decade, when we were prone to indulge in financial excesses. Yeah. More external discipline on the United States is not necessarily a bad thing.
We just brought up here European economy since 1945 and Globalizing Capital, which I've read cover to cover twice. I think this really goes into the heritage of Barry Eichengreen's books, and the threat here, let's get to the summary, and the summary of the book is we've got nothing to fear, that the dollar will be a set of international currencies, and we're in control of our destiny, not China.
The United States can hold on to the dollar's international currency status. The dollar can still be one of the leading international currencies if we get our fiscal and financial houses in order, but that's a big if.
Well, here's a chart here, folks. Let's look about it. Forget about Europe, and we'll come back and talk to Barry about Europe. Asia ascendant. This is Asia ex-Japan. This is like DXY in the United States, but it's called Asia DXY. And Barry, you could see the plunge there on the left side of the screen where you advise so many governments. Down we go. We see the Asia recovery, and now we really break out to new Asia highs. Do we just assume renminbi is the dominant Asia currency, or is that will there be a basket, a Bellagio group of Asian currencies?
I don't think baskets appeal to investors, and if they don't appeal to private investors, they're not going to appeal to central banks either. There will be an important global currency based in Asia. I think it'll be China's, no doubt about it.
Here's the single factoid I saw in Exorbitant Privilege. The United States is a source of less than 20% of FDI, foreign direct investment, down from 85%. We went from 85% of push money around the world to 20. Are we a dominant player now?
Well, we're one of a set of dominant players. The world that's coming, everyone understands, will be organized around three large economies: the U.S., the Euro area, and China.
Very good. Barry Eichengreen with us, Party Professor at the University of California, Berkeley. Of course, no better time to talk about Europe. Krugman out with the New York